Hey everybody, it's me, Julz again, and welcome to another Movie Corner. And today, Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, yes! Okay, spoiler-free part. Loved it. I mean, I can't say that it's better than the first one, but it defies logic in so many ways. It's fast-paced, there's a lot of action, there are even tons and tons of characters, there's so many plot points and stuff, and so much stuff happens, and it's even shot like in so many angles. But the difference between this and other movies that try to do all of that, it succeeds. It's so much is packed into it, and I've heard that it had to be cut down a bit that Joss Whedon had to cut down a few things. That's why it seems so compressed, but it's still satisfying and succeeds in so many ways. I love it, and you should see it. It is so worth it. Now, here comes the spoilerish part. Anybody who hasn't seen it, get out and go watch that movie now. Now, as to what I mean by, there is so much stuff that happens. Okay, what you'll notice, the pacing. The pacing is so fast. It's almost borderline heart attack. That's what I was feeling. Like, everything was shot, like all the action scenes and some of even the story elements, it's so fast. Like even the Flash series doesn't move this fast. But it's borderline heart attack, but it's not annoying. You still grasp everything. I mean, because of how fast-paced it is, you don't catch every single bit of dialogue, but the only loss there is that you don't get every joke. But the jokes that you do get, amazing! It's a Joss Whedon classic. There wasn't a moment where I wasn't laughing. Every joke in this. Oh my gosh, I must have Jarvis is my co-pilot sticker. Oh, don't swear in front of Captain America, people. or let's hide the zucchini. There was not a moment where I wasn't laughing at this. It's thank you, Joss Whedon. The dialogue, how they just bounce off each other, was was like 3 times better than even the Avengers. Okay, there are some parts here that are a little bit better than the Avengers, even though I wouldn't say that overall it's not better than the first one, but still the banter, it's in full force. Oh my gosh. I mean, I wish it would slow down a little bit, just so that we could keep up. There are some scenes, though, as I mentioned, Joss Whedon may have had to, like, cut down some parts of the script. Originally, it was, like, 3 hours, so that's kind of long, even for a Marvel movie. There are scenes like the Thor well scene, Ultron's development, Pietro and Wanda themselves. Some scenes just don't seem to do well. Like, some of them don't fit as well. I mean, they'd serve a purpose, but you wish you saw more of it to help better the story. But even those are just very minor. The pacing, is heart attack inducing, but it's not bad. It's not that bad. As for the action, so much of it. The first scene is an action scene, man. Well, to be fair, in the first one, we had Loki storming a SHIELD base and basically turning it into a crater. So I guess it makes sense. Go all out. Come on, go all out. Destroy a whole place if you have to. And the way they're fighting really shows how the Avengers have learned from their past experiences with each other. Like with Captain America and Thor using their weapons together, they use the sonic boom to their advantage. Yes. Tony using other Iron Man suits to help out, even though it doesn't help as much. The Hawkeye not becoming a victim of mind control. He learned from that. It just shows how they've all really evolved in so many ways. And even though, yes, it is shot in many angles, but spectacularly. It really puts CGI, cinematography, all this cinematic technology to the test. This is the epitome of what technology can do for filmmaking. That is the standard from now on that every action movie must hold to. The Avengers 2 really puts digital technology to the test. It really does in almost every regard. And even though, yeah, it's shot from every angle, almost every action scene romanticized, it's not over-detailed. It's not too intricate. It's not a headache to watch. I mean, some of the action might have dialed down just a smidge, but that's nothing at all. That's not that much of a problem. And also, big difference between this movie and the Transformers movies or Man of Steel. Yeah, there's a lot of action, but I wasn't bored. And also, unlike Man of Steel, they save people. They frickin' save people. It doesn't matter if you're entrenched in a battle, there are civilians around. And even Iron Man himself saves people. That is like one of the best parts of like Iron Man 3 where, yeah, it may seem impossible to do, but that's not an excuse to shirk from your superhero duties. You save these people. And also, that's what I love too. They do not believe in the no-win situation, like we're gonna have to sacrifice a whole bunch of citizens. Bullcrap. You are going to save those bystanders. Save those bystanders because that's what heroes do. You are to protect these people. That is what heroes do. No excuses. And also, they still manage to be funny. Again, with the humor, oh my gosh, and even in the action scenes, like when Hulk versus Iron Man Hulkbuster, yes! Waiting for this. I mean, it's not as long, but it's still amazing and funny too. Like when Iron Man was just punching Hulk, like, please go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep. Although Hulk, holy crap, he's even scarier than in the first Avengers. Oh, he was like apeshit crazy. Oh, the action in this, and when they were all defending the key, the circle shot, yes! Awesome! Yes, I love the action in this. And of course, the character bits. The best part, another good part about these about the Avenger movies, about the Marvel movies, we get to know more about these characters. I mean, yeah, you might have a problem with Hulk, Black Widow, Banner, Natasha, but it's not shipper material to me, but I can see it. And it does help a little bit in terms of character development. And also, in this movie, we get to learn a little bit more about Natasha, and we know how terrible it is, and how horrible her childhood is, and how she's really trying to comfort Banner and show him that he's not that much of a beast. But even though, yeah, many people may not be okay with the whole Natasha Bruce Banner thing, but at least it's not predictable. At the end, it wasn't predictable. It wasn't like a happily ever after, them getting together. Natasha's still gonna go after him, most likely, but still, it's nice, it's interesting, and also adds some character development and has Natasha do more than just be, freaking awesome in battle. And another thing, it gives Hawkeye, holy crap, Hawkeye does more stuff. He was the only level-headed one here. He actually has a life outside of S.H.I.E.L.D. He actually has a stable life with kids, and he's the only one who and he even mentors like the new kids. Yes, Hawkeye, you do stuff. As for the other guy, as for everybody else, expect cameos, of course. Expect cameos. War Machine, Falcon, And even Stanley's cameo. Wonderful way to include his catchphrase, Excelsior. Thor doesn't really evolve that much, but we do get to see a little bit more into his character, thanks to the fear-induced thing, thanks to Wanda. He's scared of destroying everything and letting his kingdom down. Okay, that makes sense. Captain America's fear took me a while to figure out that Steve is afraid that if he's not a soldier, he's not useful. That's from what I could tell. Like, at first it looked like, well, he's getting what he wants, a normal life, and him back in the 40s, but it looks like without war, or with at least without being a soldier, he feels useless, and that's kind of deep. A guy without a dark side. And of course, oh my gosh, more Captain Steve in tight shirts. For Tony, he doesn't develop that much. It's kind of hard for Tony to learn from his mistake, but you could see the contrast between him and Ultron. More on him in a bit, but Tony's fear is him letting everybody down, and of course it's him in the Tritari world and all of them dead in it. That makes sense. But I wish they delved a little bit more into it, especially considering, the whole panic attacks in Iron Man 3. It would have been nice for, Tony to learn from this, but it's so hard for Tony to admit his mistakes sometimes. Oh, I'm not going to enjoy Civil War. But anyway, of course, there is Ultron. Ultron, yes. He's creepy, as he needs to be, as a villain needs to be, and he's so charismatic. He's kind of charismatic, he's sarcastic. He's basically a very, very darker version of Tony. But it's almost difficult to tell the difference between Tony and Ultron. But the only thing that differs is that you can tell Tony still has some humanity. Ultron is one of those villains that really believes the ends justify the means. And all this time, yeah, you get the creepiness vibe all the way. It's like I'm so sorry. I'm very sure that that lopped off arm will be okay. Even when he's evil, it's funny. It's funny. And you can tell that there's some sort of devilish sincerity to his intention. But you are still freaked out by him. And the CGI, not bad. I mean, you could still tell it's CGI, but it doesn't ruin anything. It doesn't ruin the fact that he is creepy. And also the fact that he's made of Chitauri metal. I'm not against that. It's okay. It's a perfectly good way to explain how he got all the material necessary to build more bodies that were difficult to deal with. And also, perfect idea to add vibranium. More vibranium, and a little bit of a sneak preview to Wakanda. But more on that later. My only problem with Ultron is that his progression from computer program to villain, extreme villain, it's a little rushed. We see his creation with the science bros. It happens, it goes by so fast. His creation is very, very fast, especially considering that Tony said he'd been working on this for a while, and they just, when they're not around, it's finished. He's alive, and he starts questioning everything, but I guess that's the thing. He's a program who works super speedy fast, like Jarvis, and yet he doesn't know how to process all the information, all the terrible things that have happened throughout the decades and during the Avengers' time, that crime, evil, danger, threats still exist, and he doesn't know how to process all of that. He's a newborn child. In a way, he's newborn, and he's intelligent, but he doesn't know what to do with that intelligence, and he just takes it to an extreme. That's what makes Ultron here still a good villain. Yeah, I'm very sure there's going to be, how many people in the comics comments telling me, it's not like with the comic version, or it's not like his personality is not like that. It's a movie. And also it makes sense because he was based off Tony. And I almost cried. I almost wanted to cry, like, no, Jarvis, no! but he hides in the best place possible, the internet. If you want to hide, go to the internet. Pietro and Wanda. What a waste with Pietro. Wanda only gets development near the end. They get development near the end. In the beginning, they're okay. They're not terrible, but I feel like more could have been done with Wanda and Pietro. Yeah, they've been marred because of Tony. They've been marred by a world at war. And they still want to do good. They just want the fighting to stop. But I still feel like they could do more. But I'm glad that Wanda is now part of the Avengers. But I'm so sad that Quicksilver's not part of the Avengers, although X-Men Days of Future Past, Quicksilver was better. And Vision. Wow. His appearance is like way out of nowhere. Like, it just comes out of nowhere. But it works. Vision, still good. Oh, he is worthy. Oh, if you put the hammer in the elevator, is it worthy? Or no, it's not worthy. Stop trying to decipher Asgardian magic. But anyway, on Vision, I like that. That Vision, he's newborn. He's pure-minded. You could say it's because he's a machine, but he's also very objective. So he could be worthy because he has such an objective mind, but is not a killer like Ultron. So I like that. And also he was essential because, you know, he blocked Ultron from being able to transfer out of his body and into the internet. So in a way it's a little bit Deus Ex Machina, but it doesn't really hurt it at all, really. His appearance could have been a better introduction, but still good. And the CGI on Vision, really good. I like it. And his origin here for the movies, it's still good. Still good. Don't be pedantic that it's not every letter, every single detail is not like the comic. It's still good. And let's see, what else? There's just so much in this movie that I could just talk about and gush over for like hours, but I don't think I'll have the time, guys. But I'm just gonna try and cover as many bases as I can, because there's just so much in this movie. I just love it. And Nick Fury, wow, he kept his promise. He came in dramatically. Yes! And, oh, you kiss your mother with that mouth? Yes! Badass Nick Fury. Oh, and War Machine. Like, this'll make a good story. Oh, put all the black guys into the movie and it becomes awesome. Oh, I just love this movie. I need to watch it again. It defies expectations. It lives up to... It defies logic that every single movie that's ever tried this usually fails, but it succeeds. There's loads of action. There's loads... of witty banter, lots of character stuff really smushed in, and it's fast-paced. Normally any one of these things would kill a movie instantly, but it makes it work. It's still satisfying, and so much love for this movie. So much love. Oh, and speaking of love, wow, I thought you and Tony were just looking to each other's eyes. Oh, and that reminds me, Avengers, I got pissed at that, but I guess language, it's a good kind of mad, just cutting us off there, but it's worth it. And what really made me fanboy even more, what I thought was going to be Ultron's remains or something, the gauntlet. The gauntlet! The gems are almost all here! The gauntlet! Yes! Ah! I was just like slapping my friend's arm like Yes! There's just so much, so many feels, so many laughs. So much action, so much me going on my seat. I love it. I mean, I'm sorry guys, but you gotta watch this movie if you haven't. I loved it. I'd watch it again. It's not better than the first one, because nothing really tops a sequel. Rarely anything tops a sequel. But still good. Not utterly perfect. The action could have been a little bit more down. And the pacing, just a smidge, you know, so I don't get a heart attack. But still. And I guess some of the scenes that were cut, I'm very sure will just be on the DVD. And that would have helped the story a little bit better. But still, satisfying. I am satisfied. Joss Whedon, thank you. Alright guys, that's all the time I have. Please comment, please subscribe, tell me what you thought of this movie. I know I forgot some stuff, but let's discuss it. I will see you later. Go watch it!